guys, Scott here. Today I'm come back two videos because yesterday I don't make any videos. So yeah, today I'm have the shadowing. I'm continuing to shadowing because 2 days ago I have the videos only reaction videos. So yeah, today I'll make the videos about shadowing. Okay. The idiom, I think it's not the idiom, it's a quote today is step it into the sovereign earth like gauntlet, it looks vibrantly red, shimmering on silver. It's by Abraham bin Ahmadi. I think this man is in the Arab, I think it's Arab people or Indian people, because today's videos is about the ingredient. Yeah, it's about spicy food. Okay, let's shadowing.
Spices are often far pricier.
Spices are Spices are often far pricier.
Proportionately
than the foods they flavor. Proportionately than the foods they flavor.
But
one cost has long topped them all foreign red threads regularly.
has long topped them all. Saffron's red threads regularly run at rates over
$600 at once. So why is this called rate?
$600 an ounce. So, why is this so-called red gold so expensive?
Red gold so expensive. Spices come from different plant.
Spices come from different plant parts.
Saffron is the only one made of the flower stigmas. They are plucked from
Saffron is the only one made of flower stigmas. They're plucked from a flowering plant.
They pluck it from a flowering plant called crocus. Different crocus species.
Called a crocus. Different crocus species.
Species. Okay.
Dot countrysides.
The not countryside across Eurasia and North Africa, and it appears that humans
across Eurasia and North Africa, and it appears that humans began harvesting
wild crocuses quite a way back.
Wild crocuses quite a way back. Ancient cave
painting is what now Iraq derived colors from crocus.
In what's now Iraq, derived colors from crocus pigments.
Derived crocus pigment. However, this paint was probably created.
This paint was probably created with a different type of crocus.
Because it's thought that the saffron.
As it's thought that the saffron crocus developed
relatively recently when a single wild crocus produced a seed
carrying an
carrying an extra set of chromosomes. This mutation results in a flower with
a set of chromosomes. This mutation resulted in a flower.
This mutation carry a flower with
especially
long stigmas that package high
concentrations
of three compounds of interest: crosins, which gland
of three compounds of interest. Crocin, which lends saffron its vibrant hue,
and makes an effective dye. Picrocrocin,
and makes an effective dye. Picrocrocin,
which is give saffron its characteristic taste, and saffronol, which impact is
gives saffron its characteristic taste, and saffronol, which imparts its hay-like aroma.
The plane's added chromosomes also made
the plant's added chromosomes also made it sterile, so
it could simply come and gone from the face of Earth.
Could have simply come and gone from the face of the Earth pretty quickly.
But scientists think people not long ago recognized this.
Scientists think that people long ago recognized this unique
crocus qualities and why it couldn't reproduce sexually.
Qualities. And while it couldn't reproduce sexually by seed, it
could spread through its corm, an underground stem like plant.
Could spread through its corm, an underground stem-like plant organ that can asexually generate new growth. It seems people began propagating it themselves, separating and cultivating new corm growth. Today's commercial saffron comes from crocuses
that are functionally twins from this single clonal line. Scientists
that are all functionally twins from this single clonal line. Scientists think the original plant
first emerged in southern Greece.
First emerged in southern Greece. Exactly when is unclear.
It's unclear, but over 3,500 years ago, Greek frescoes depict women.
But over 3,500-year-old Greek frescoes depict women harvesting the spice.
And saffron field in modern-day Iran.
And saffron fields in modern-day Iran seem to trace
back at least 3,000 years.
Back at least 3,000 years. Before long,
ancient Persian people were stirring the spice into the foods.
Persian people were stirring the spice into foods. Freshening up with
saffron-infused perfume and wrapping themselves
saffron-infused perfume and draping themselves in saffron
tinger fabrics. Ancient Greeks spread the spices
hinged fabrics. Ancient Greeks spread the spices' sensuous
smell in courts, theaters, and baths.
In courts, theaters, and baths. And in 4th century BCE,
Persia, Alexander the Great became smitten with.
Persia, Alexander the Great became smitten with saffron and
recommended in baths to treat battle wounds.
Did it in baths to treat battle wounds. Legend said
Cleopatra likewise achieved glowing skin from soaking in the spice.
Cleopatra likewise achieved glowing skin from soaking in the spice. And around the 9th century,
Islamic rulers lavished its other with saffron.
Islamic rulers lavished each other with saffron gifts during prisoner
exchanges and other diplomatic ventures.
And other diplomatic ventures. Persian physician
Ibn Sina included saffron in his canon of medicines circa. What the hell?
Sina included saffron in his canon of medicine circa 1025 as
an aphrodisiac and treatment for ailments like depression and asthma.
Aphrodisiac and treatment for ailments like depression, asthma, and inflammation. Meanwhile, a Tibetan text boasted saffron's
inflammation. Meanwhile, a Tibetan text boasted saffron immune strengthening
and beauty intensifying powers.
And beauty intensifying powers in what the hell? What's that?
In 1300s Europe.
In 1300 Europe, saffron was purported.
Saffron was a purported antidote to the plague.
Many of these historical accounts
of saffron's health benefits
don't hold up or overblown. What the hell, man? Overblown, but saffron has indeed.
Don't hold up or are overblown, but saffron has indeed proved to have
anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties.
Anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. In medieval
numbers, the government appointed inspector to check.
The government appointed inspectors to check for saffron fraud.
And dole out punishments.
As extreme
as the death penalty, while in the early 1700s, settlers
brought saffron
to North America, where it fetches the same price as a gold at the
North America, where it fetched the same price as gold at the Philadelphia Exchange.
The Philadelphia Exchange saffron prices preciously then and now come down.
Saffron's pricey preciousness, then and now, comes down to its production. Most of the work required to
its production. Most of the work required to produce saffron is
squeezed into the crocuses.
It squeezes into the crocuses early to wait flowering windows. Workers often
Roughly 2-week flowering window. Workers often begin at dawn. Hand
begin at the door and it picks the crocuses usually before they blossom to
picking the crocuses, usually before they blossom, to prevent wilting.
And preserve potency. Then they pluck the tree
and preserve potency. Then they pluck the three stigmas from each
flower and dry them. They must process around 150,000
flower and dry them. They must process around 150,000 flowers.
Flowers, the equivalent of over 400 hours of labor to produce a single
equivalent of over 400 hours of labor to produce a single kilogram of
saffron. A little goes a long way in what have
a little goes a long way in what have become some
flowers is signature dishes. A few trays infusing
saffron's signature dishes, a few threads infusing whole trays of tagine, pans of paella,
trays of tagine, pans, panels, both spices,
and bowls of bouillabaisse. But the price's price
has stayed astronomical over generations.
Over generations, farmers
have selectively bred many other domesticated crops to maximize
yields and other
desirable traits. However, because saffron crocuses
desirable traits. However, because saffron crocuses are all
sterile clone, they have remained
sterile clones. They've remained largely unchanged.
Chị Áo ơi, đun rồi mà. Nước.
As have their
labor-intensive, low stigma
yields.
Low stigma yield. Some researchers are investigating experimental. What the freak? Okay. Experimentally inducing.
Researchers are investigating experimentally inducing mutations.
But environmental instability has made.
But environmental instability
has made harvests increasingly unreliable, threatening the saffron crop and
increasingly unreliable, threatening the saffron crop and the traditional
livelihoods that have painstakingly keep them miracular mutant.
livelihoods that have painstakingly kept the miraculous mutant alive for millennia.
Alive for millennia.
Ready to keep learning? Watch these videos to either challenge what you think you know or learn more about.
Next video is how humanity got hooked on coffee.
One day around
the 1850 CE, a goddess named Caldi observed that
150 CE, a goat herd named Caldi observed that after nibbling
on some breezes, his goat started acting abnormally.
on some berries, his goats started acting abnormally. Caldi tried them
himself, and soon enough he was just as hyper.
And soon enough, he was just as hyper. This was
humanity first run-in with coffee.
Humanity's first run-in with coffee, or so the story goes. When exactly
people began consuming coffee is unclear. But at some point before the 1400s, it was now Ethiopia.
Some point before the 1400s, in what
it's now 1400. In what's now Ethiopia,
people began
foraging for white coffee in the forest underground.
Foraging for coffee in the forest undergrowth. The reason coffee plants
are equipped with lots of caffeine might be because it makes them unattractive to herbivores.
Makes them unattractive to herbivores, or more attractive to
pollinators. But either way, people caught on to coffee's advantages.
People caught on to coffee's advantages and began
making tea from its leaves.
Combining its berries with butter
and salt for sustaining snack.
Butter and salt for a sustaining snack, and
drying, roasting, and simmering is cheerios into energizing elixir.
Roasting and simmering its cherries into an energizing elixir. Coffee road
trade routes into the Middle East.
Trade routes into the Middle East and its widespread popularity.
Began brewing in earnest in the 1450s.
Began brewing in earnest in the 1450s. Upon returning from
a visit to Ethiopia,
a Sufi leader
recommended that worshippers in Yemen
use coffee during
ritual chants and dance.
Ritual chants and dances. Soon enough, people within
the Ottoman Empire
began roasting
and grinding the beans to yield a darker, bolder beverage. Many gathered in guest houses and outside
mosques to partake in coffee's comforts.
But authorities grew concerned about whether coffee influence
Authorities grew concerned about whether coffee's influence was innocent or
intoxicating,
and if
Muslims must be allowed to drink it.
Muslims should be allowed to drink it. Indeed, in
1511, the religious courts in Mecca put coffee on trial.
11, a religious court in Mecca put coffee on trial. Scholars finally
deemed it permissible. So coffee houses sprang up in Damascus, Istanbul, and beyond.
Sprang up in Damascus, Istanbul, and beyond, where clientele could
sip coffee, smoke, and enjoy a variety of entertainment.
Sip coffee, smoke, and enjoy a variety of entertainment. By the late
15th, people in Yemen were farming coffee.
Hundreds. People in Yemen were farming coffee and exporting it from the port
of
Al-Makha, which became known in other parts
which became known in other parts of the world as mocha.
The world as mocha. But coffee was
eventually transported or smuggled into India.
Transported or smuggled into India and soon took root in Java.
And
beyond. Meanwhile, the Ottoman Empire introduced the stimulating substance to Europe.
Stimulating something? What the fuck?
Smuggled into India and soon took root in Java and beyond. Meanwhile, the Ottoman
Empire introduces the stimulating substance to Europe.
Empire introduced the stimulating substance to Europe. Central London,
first coffee house opened in 1650.
Its first coffee houses opened in the 1650s. By
1663, there were more than 80.
There were more than 80, and despite King
Charles II's attempt to ban them in 1655.
The second's attempt to ban them in
1675.
Coffee houses
kept simmering as social and intellectually hotbeds.
Simmering as social and intellectual hotbeds. In 1679,
for instance, patron of Railway Coffee House.
For instance, patrons of Garraway's Coffee House had the pleasure of watching
Robert Hooke, the scientist who coined the term cells.
Robert Hooke, the scientist who coined the term cell, publicly dissect
the process.
Porpoise. In France, people began mixing
coffee with milk and sugar.
And throughout the 1700s, Paris's coffee houses
hosted Enlightenment figures like Diderot and Voltaire.
Enlightenment figures like Diderot and Voltaire, who allegedly drank. In France, people began mixing coffee with milk and sugar, and throughout the 1700s, Paris's coffee houses hosted Enlightenment figures
enlightenment figure like Dardan of Voltaire
like Diderot and Voltaire, who allegedly drank 50
inordinately drank 50 cups of coffee a day.
cups of coffee a day. Granted, these were likely
small servings of comparatively weak coffee.
small servings of comparatively weak coffee, but still
impressive.
Meanwhile,
European empire began profiting of coffee growing.
empires began profiting off coffee growing, establishing
enslaved and exploited workforce.
enslaved or exploited workforces in Asia,
Latin America, and the Caribbean.
and the Caribbean. As cultivation boomed in Latin
America, fueled by slavery. Okay, this is too long to end the video. Just have now. Goodbye. See you next week.